So Israel just bombed an entire neighborhood of 15 to 30 houses in the densely packed Jabalia refugee camp, Gaza, using American bombs. More than 400 Palestinians killed and wounded so far. This is not self-defense. This is what's called ethnic cleansing. So doesn't Putin seem like a nicer guy every day?
A little bit.
Hasn't it?
A little bit.
It's weird. I thought he was the most crazed psycho killer on earth, but he seems pretty chill.
Seems like he's part of the rules-based order now.
Yeah. I mean, compared to our greatest ally.
Our best friend.
Our best friend.
Our beautiful Israel.
Beautiful Israel. So why? So
not gonna apologize. Not gonna apologize.
So here, Jesus, it's like a comedy sketch. Donald Trump. I mean, in a bad way.
The whole thing.
This whole thing. So watch this. So Wolf Blitzer. So the reason why I'm showing you this, Wolf Blitzer, the war machine, has now lost Wolf Blitzer, who, correct me if I'm wrong, is Jewish, and also the biggest supporter of war, killing, the military-industrial complex.
I thought he was the hood ornament of the war machine.
Of the war machine. That's who he is.
His stupid little hairy beard face was on the, like a Mercedes emblem on the war machine.
So listen to this.
Yes, I can. We were focused again on a target, a senior.
So he's going to ask them, he's going to ask this guy from the Israeli spokesperson, why did you bomb a neighborhood, a refugee camp that you knew 400 people were in? Or more than that, but they killed 400 and wounded. Why did you do that? And so listen to this. This is where they lose. This is getting so barbaric that they're losing Wolf Blitzer. Watch this.
Senior Commander Wolf, and we'll be updating you with more data as the hour moves ahead.
But even if that Hamas commander was there amidst all those Palestinian refugees who are in that Jabalia refugee camp, Israel still went ahead and dropped a bomb there, attempting to kill this Hamas commander, knowing that a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children, presumably would be killed. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that's what you're hearing, Wolf. This is the first time you're hearing this.
How many days will it take for Wolf from being slightly troubled to completely forgetting about this?
Right.
We should have a countdown. For Wolf to forget this whole thing that's bothering him.
So Wolf is like, he seems incredulous. Like, wait a minute, because you say there was one Hamas guy there, you just went ahead and dropped bombs and slaughtered all these people?
I just been trashing Putin for like 2 years, man. Give me something to work with.
A refugee camp.
That's not what you're hearing, Wolf. We're focused on this commander, who you'll get more data who this man was. Killed many Israelis. We're doing everything we can. It's a very complicated battle space. There could be infrastructure there. There could be tunnels there. We're still looking into it, and we'll give you more data as the hour moves ahead.
There could also be a bunch of civilians there in a refugee camp. Aleki says we're doing everything we can, and to prevent civilian death. And by doing everything we can, that means doing absolutely nothing.
Aren't you so mad that it's worth it to you to kill 400 people to get one guy? Aren't you that mad? This is basically your country. Israel's not your country as well. What, do you hate Jews?
That's what they're saying.
Wait, do you hate Jews so much that you can't get on board with killing 400 people
to kill
one friggin' terrorist? You can't get on board with that? Wow. I hope they pass a law so people can feel safe around you, Jimmy.
But you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children in that refugee camp as well, right?
This is the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean,
it's the tragedy of war.
I feel as unsafe as a Palestinian refugee right now. That's what those Jewish students are saying. We feel like we're Gazans out here. Wow. Look at Wolf's dumb face. Hey, Wolf, you sat by and let it happen for 20 years. Don't look shocked now. You punk.
Hey, at least he's saying something now. He's like, so you just went ahead and did it anyway? And this guy, war, it's messy.
Yeah.
Messy. It's
you do that, Wolf, you pussy. Look at Wolf like a punk pretending he didn't know the deal. For the last, how long has he been there?
He's been there for 35 years. He's been there for both Iraq wars. He's on board.
we've been saying for days, move south. Civilians that are not involved with Hamas, please move south.
So what he's saying is we've been telling those people in that refugee camp to move.
You know how you
Please.
can just do that?
You know
really
how you can
easily?
just move?
Like a week?
Yeah. Just get up. They're in a refugee camp already moved once or twice or 3 times.
Hey,
So-
want to hear an argument, a real argument? Why isn't Egypt taking them?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they have their own land that they also lived in. There were always Jews in Israel. That's true. And also, those people were there.
But the Palestinians.
Why should they have to leave where they're from? And Egypt has to take them?
Aren't they called Palestinians because they're from Palestine?
Yeah, but the Bible.
Okay. Yeah, the Bible. Okay.
Wolf, you're a Bible guy, right?
Just trying to get a little bit more information. You knew there were civilians there. You knew there were refugees, all sorts of refugees, but you decided to still drop a bomb on that refugee camp, attempting to kill the Hamas commander. By the way, was he killed?
I can't confirm yet.
I know. There could be tunnels.
Jimmy, I don't feel safe.
There could be
I
tunnels.
don't feel safe.
There could be ammunition.
But Jewish students on college campuses don't feel safe. Kurt, where's your humanity?
Oh my God.
Jewish students on college campuses don't feel safe, and that's the real problem.
Did you at least get the guy? Here's the cherry on top.
No.
Hey, focus, Blitz. Focus.
Hamas.
Hey, what is it too bad, Blitz? Focus.
Updated. Yes, we know that he was killed. About the civilians there, we're doing everything we can to minimize. I'll say it again.
And by everything we can to minimize, all we can do is absolutely nothing. How did you try to minimize that? Well, we dropped a bomb on them.
Hey, Wolf, Sony Guts. There's Sony Guts. He's like a guy on 42nd Street.
And by the way, American bomb. Just a
Look, it's American bomb. It's Sony
just
Guts.
so y'all know your tax dollar.
Wow.
What is Sony
it's like
Guts?
working
What is that?
It reminds me when I worked at Nobody Beats the Whiz. On 42nd Street, that was all the Sephardic VCR salesman. And Nobody Beats the Whiz was the Jamal brothers, who started that chain.
Oh,
It's out
okay.
of business now. And it was always that. It's in that movie. You don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sony Guts. Come on, Robert Smigel saying it.
Oh, okay.
This guy's talking like he's trying to sell him a knockoff VCR.
They are hiding themselves within civilian population. And again, we are doing this stage by stage, and we're going to go after every one of these terrorists who was involved in that heinous attack on the 7th of October. Wolf.
Look at Wolf.
Lieutenant Colonel, I'm having trouble hearing you, but let me move on. I assume you can still hear me.
Oh my God!
You heard him.
His face was him taking that in. Because did you even Wolf Blitzer, the biggest human blank nothing piece of shit on TV, who's like a war husk, couldn't take that. I'm telling you, man, a lot of stuff's collapsing right now. I'm actually way into it. Did you even get him?
Dan Cohen, friend of the show, says even Wolf Blitzer, a former APAC employee and Jerusalem Post reporter, can't figure out how to defend the slaughter of 400 Palestinians in a single attack. The Hasbara machine is failing.
Look at Wolf. He was brokenhearted.
He was just, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear
Look at
that.
him, sitting there like Rudolph Hess, trying to figure out how to make a deal.
But I'm pretty sure you can hear me, so I'll just keep talking.
How absurd does it have to be that Wolf Blitzer is not even coming up? I mean, this is Wolf Blitzer is now like, I have no words, man.
That was pretty absurd, I have to say.
Remember when Putin was supposed to be a vicious, evil Hitler because he killed 7 people who were being used as human shields?
Yeah, right.
He said, remember that? Wow. Remember when we reported how Ukraine was hiding weapons in civil areas, but it was cool for some reason? No, me neither.
I remember saying to you when we talked about Ukraine hiding their stuff in civilian buildings, which it wasn't like, hey, they're bad for that. I think they were saying they do that.
Yeah.
And I go, wow, that's very Hamas of them. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Wow.
So it's not anti-Semitic to give hundreds of billions of dollars to literal Nazis. It's not anti-Semitic for Jon Stewart, a Jew, to hang a medal on a literal Nazi.
But if he's against this, he is anti-Semitic.
But if he's against this, then he would be anti-Semitic.
You can put a medal on a real Nazi.
You could put a medal on
that's not anti-Semitic.
That's not anti-Semitic.
Go against this shit right here. You are a self-hating, anti-self-Semite. What do you call it?
And I just can't get over how Jon Stewart will never go anywhere in the world where he will be asked about hanging a medal on a Nazi.
Very few people know about it.
He will never. Well, Joe Rogan talked about it on his show, so that's at least 13 million people because you brought it up on his show. That's at least 13 million people know about it. At least. Plus all the people on my show, we get 17 million. Now with Rumble, we get probably around 20 million views a month.
Well, you're very anti-Semitic, all of you, for being against the Nazi thing. What a crazy time to be alive.
What a crazy time to be alive. They've lost. So I just love that Wolf Blitzer, a former APEC employee and Jerusalem Post reporter, can't figure out how to defend the slaughter of 400 Palestinians in a single attack.
Wow.
So I don't. And by the way, Joe Biden's poll numbers are down 17 points.
Well, did you know?
But it doesn't matter, Kurt. And you know why it doesn't matter? You know why Joe Biden's not going to change course? Because the people who control Joe Biden don't care if Joe Biden wins or loses. The other person's going to do the exact same thing that they want him to do. It's a uniparty, baby. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or DeSantis or Vivek. They're all going to do the exact same thing the war machine wants them to do, or else it's for them.
And it's just a matter of...
You stand up to the war machine, you're going to get JFK'd.
They just want someone who's going to do 100% of what they want. And
That's right.
Somebody that deviates like 0.1%, they would like to avoid that. Like your Trumps that are like, I'm 0.02% not doing exactly what you want.
That's right.
We're going to lose our democracy.
He's a racist. He's a racist. That's right. Okay. All right. Let's go to you want to say anything on this, Craig?
No, I mean, I just want to say that if you keep screaming about what Hamas did on October 7, it means nothing. If you keep on saying the word anti-Semite, it means nothing at this point. You just bombed.
You saying it's like vaccine or woman? Those words? My list of things that mean nothing. What vaccine, woman,
anti-Semite.
Anti-Semite. There was another one we had. It's just like a whole list of words that are just gaped beyond belief.
Yeah. It means nothing. If you're going to stand behind this, you're just standing behind an unprincipled position at this point.
Safety.
1.5 million Palestinians are displaced. Over 10,000 dead. 3,000 of them are children. I don't want to hear it anymore.
So
you outscored them, I would say, in terms of the killing of innocents.
Outscored them.
Israel has.
That's not a battlefield. So that's not what they call a theater of war.
Well, war's bloody.
A refugee camp is not a theater of war. That's a war crime. That's against international law, and you can't do that. So if you say, well, Hamas did something similar, then here's
Vladimir Putin has never done anything this vile.
Nothing
in
close
all of
to
his
this.
Vile deeds. Point to one crime, the level of this, that even Wolf Blitzer can't get behind.
Even Wolf Blitzer can't get behind this now.
Mm-hmm. And every day seems worse than the last.
And it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Come see us doing live shows. We're going to be in Levittown, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, Milwaukee, and Lansing, Michigan. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.